are you going to get too much sun, or how black are you going to get? And well, I'll stay on this beach out here while you think about that.
Right.
Yeah. While you decide on, what shade I'm going to be, I'm just going to keep looking at these waves and watch the sunset.
Yeah.
That's how we deal with this in these types of people. It just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. This is episode 14.
Episode 14, and we're jumping right in to a serious topic this time, which is unusual for us. And we're going to talk about colorism.
Colorism.
Mm-hmm.
Colorism. Now, but why do we need to talk about colorism? What does the little girl that's coming into this world need to know about not being in the majority? What does she need to know? That's the main reason why we're doing this. So
yeah, well, all these episodes are for her, so she can look back at them. So this is something that she's going to experience within her own community. She's going to be a mixed race child.
Yeah.
And so within the Black and brown community, there's a very high rate of colorism.
Yep. I blame Tyler Perry. You were telling me about how like he has these like villains in his story. I never watched his movies.
Well, I used to watch his plays, and then I watched his movies, and typically always the darker skinned people were the villains.
But that's the thing, like just like in Bollywood, the dark skinned person is the one that's going to shoot you. And then in Tyler Perry movies, the dark-skinned person is the one that is. I saw this Boondocks episode where he's just evil for no reason. Like he was just like, the dark skin. And so it's in our community. It's in your community.
Yeah. Well, that's why I don't watch Bollywood movies because I think they did one movie on colorism.
Yeah.
And they had a lighter white passing actress
put on dark makeup
so
she could talk about the struggles of someone with
right. And people were like, well, at least they're talking about it. I'm like, no, there's literally half of the country that could have played that role.
Yeah, but you're not in our circle.
Right.
Yeah, you're not in the circle.
There's no dark actresses in
so
Bollywood.
I'll tell you, have I ever gotten a tan and someone came and said, you've gone too dark? No, that doesn't happen to black people. Y'all in your community, you could be told you're too dark, and they want you to feel like it's bad. They want you to feel that the darker your skin is, the more poor you should feel about yourself. Like and so it's an attack almost, right?
But I think it does happen with your community. I just think that your family never did that.
Okay. When has somebody said, okay, give me an example. When has someone said, man, you've been out in the sun too long?
Oh, since I was
No, I'm saying in the black community.
In the black community?
Because I know like we'll say like stuff about like, we'll say some stuff, but it's like, to me, it's like jokes.
Well, it's more so like I've heard people say, oh, like, some of my friends that are darker skinned, their family tells them like, don't marry someone who is as dark as you.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I think that's wild because what I hear when someone says that is if you create something that's dark skinned and then you say, please don't let me see more of this.
Right.
You're basically looking in the mirror and saying, I don't even like it on me.
Right.
And so what I'm hearing is an insecure person,
like a self-hate,
trying to like teach someone else how to be that as well. Wow, if you marry for skin color, that to me is corny. To me.
Well, it happened like in my community. It happens when like if it's an arranged marriage and you hire a marriage like a matchmaker. On the list of things to do, like a list of things that I'm looking for, it's going to be someone who's light-skinned and that is like high up on the list. Fair.
What I do like about the African American community, the Black community, is that we at least can have fun with the jokes. Like, because every time you say light skin and it's on like a checkoff box, I think of like those memes where like, you know, like if you compare like how like you rub on lotion, like if you're light skin, like you'll do this, you know, like, and then so it's like kind of a joke, but I also don't know if that's making someone feel bad. I don't know that. If they see that and they say, I don't like how you make me feel. You're making me feel like just because I'm this, then I'm not like tough or like I'm too soft. But people used to say stuff like that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if someone tells me I'm not Black enough, then I'm like, okay, well, what do you want me to do then? Like,
yeah, and
because
also I'm probably not going to do it.
yeah, I mean, like, what do you want me to tell me the exact thing? Give me a list of things that I'm supposed to do to be the exact type of Black you want me to be.
Right.
And then, you know,
tell me why you're telling me.
Yeah,
this.
then like
why are you so worried about
it?
it?
Are you gonna be like in the corner like with your notepad like like taking notes on checking on like how good I'm doing something? Now, one thing I know that I've disappointed people with in my life is my 3-point shots.
Your basketball?
No, yeah, specific. Oh, I don't even want to talk about dribbling. I don't want to talk about dribbling. I don't want to talk about layups. I'm not going to try to lay it with my left hand. Don't tell Kendrick Lamar this, but I just started practicing free throws, and yeah,
I think you get a pass. I don't think like your Blackness has come down to you making a 3-point shot.
My life decisions. Like Patrice O'Neal had a joke where he said if someone put a gun to his head and told him to spell restaurant, that he and then he would like try. If someone, that's a nightmare. If my life came down to the Blackness, like in Blackness equated to, well, this is also kind of. This is also terrible. This whole conversation. Yeah, now that I think about it,
we're talking about our daughter.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. We need to write things down.
We need to have a list.
Okay.
Cue cards.
All right, let's get back. Okay, so, but no, if someone said you have to make three pointers in a row, or it's over,
it may be over.
It might be over. Yeah, I think it's over. Oh boy, can I get an equation? Yeah, if someone said, hey, I need you to solve this equation. I need you to solve for like the alveolar gas, equation.
Yeah, someone said, hey, do this doctor equation.
Yeah.
Then
hey, we're alive.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I need you to suture this wound. I need you to come up with an anesthetic plan.
Yeah. Stay in your skill set.
Yeah. Stay in my lane. Why is the elephant swimming and the fish climbing a tree? I don't know. Yeah. Can elephants swim really well?
I don't know. Hippos can.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a zoologist, so I don't want to talk about that either.
You brought it up.
Okay, so
for our daughter.
Yes, for the daughter.
The biggest thing is when this is going to start at home, right? Mm-hmm. We are not talking about her skin color. We don't care what she looks like. Well, she comes out.
So it's either overexposure or underexposure to the problem. So am I going to overexpose her by making her hyper aware? No, that's stupid to me. Like, am I going to underexpose by making it non-existent? I kind of like that.
Because she's already going to have to deal with racism, right? Like that's like the broader thing that she's going to have to know and learn how to navigate systemic issues. But colorism in your own community, that we can deal with later. She just needs to be this confident individual. Yeah. That, mouths off to people.
Yeah. So things that are inevitable, we're just going to prepare for. So for instance, you have to speak up. You cannot allow yourself to be quiet. And how do you train someone to speak? Well, they have to learn the language first, right? So if she is learning the language of self, you're learning, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? And what are you displeased with, right? Sometimes people get in situations where they don't even know why they're upset.
Right.
or they get in situations where they don't know why they're offended or whatever.
She's going to have to know.
Yeah, we're going to teach her. We're going to teach her how to speak her language of self. And so
that when someone else comes in and says and tries to take her down a notch, she's like, no.
Yeah.
I would always rather have her be too much and then, dial it wherever we need. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
I was like a crazy kid that said all sorts of things to everybody.
Yeah.
And no one could tell me to shut up. And so that's what I need her to do.
Your grandfather was very supportive of your, I hate to say this, supportive of your skin color. Like, how do you support it? Like, keep going. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But
it came, so he was darker, and then his dad was darker. And so that's where the color comes from. And so he never cared. Yeah. He never ever told me to wear a hat or, whatever.
But it's wild to me because the ones who say these things in your culture, have the same skin tone as most Guatemalans and most Mexicans.
Right.
And we're all similar dark
we're
colors.
All brown. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they'll be they have a thimble more caramel or and then in their mind they're worlds apart.
Right.
And so it's wild to me because I remember when we were in India, this person was trying to fix their skin color and then damage their skin.
Yeah.
And then someone else came in and was like, you should feel terrible about this.
Yeah,
literally said you should feel bad and you should hide your face.
Yeah.
And this was an adult. When at that time, this is a 60-year-old telling a 20-year-old to hide their face. And I was and I remember saying, okay, this is backwards. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is where your brain was programmed by these people.
Yeah.
And so they don't even realize half the stuff that I hear them say.
Because it's so normal.
It's so normal. Yeah. It's going to some rally for backwards thinking, and you go in there and they're all just kind of rattling off this crazy language, and you're the first one to be like, this is madness, and they're all going to get defensive. They're going to be like, what are you talking about? We're just having a good time. We're just joking around. Yeah. And that's another thing I've noticed, the jokes. The jokes are not really jokes, because if you were raised to see light skin as acceptable and dark skin as unacceptable, and you drop a little joke, is it a joke?
It's not really a joke. Or it's really how you feel.
Is it truly what you were the system that you were designed in,
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger, being in elementary school, people, when I would go outside in the sun, we were always at the beach and the pool, and people would every time I came home, it was oh, you got dark. And it was ugh, what do you mean? And then you're in the shower and I'm trying to scrub my skin off because I'm can that color come off?
If somebody made my daughter try to rip her skin off, I'd feel like I failed as a father. I would feel like I was a failure, because that means that what she is made of, what she cannot change, is broken.
Right.
And she should, when does it stop? First skin, second what? What else do you want to get rid of?
Muscle,
Yeah, you want to. That's cutting basically at that time. You're starting to get into self-hate. That's the beginning of self-hate. So why would you, as a father, teach self-hate unless it was in you?
Yeah, it's always internalized.
It's passing it down.
In India, I think it's colonialism and then the caste system, right? And so they're both working together. The darker you are, the more poor you are, and the lighter you are, the higher up in society. And so
how did Tyler Perry get this though? How did Tyler Perry take, what? I'm thinking about the house, the house slave and the out and the field ones, and then
the mixing, and then automatically, if you were lighter, you were allowed into the house, right?
You know what? I feel like you never think that you have to watch out for the outside
Mhm.
world and the inside world.
And the inside world. And
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing with colorism is it is your inside world.
Yeah.
And so for our daughter,
But that's what I'm saying. We have two different lives. Like no one in my family made anyone's skin an issue.
yeah.
Because there's so much hate coming from the outside.
Mhm.
The house had to be safe.
Yeah.
And so like how much hate is coming from the outside?
Mhm.
Like because I don't know. I mean, maybe okay, so you tell me in India, like will they beat someone to death for being too dark?
No, they just like, so on the caste system
Yeah.
though, like you won't get like a job because you're of a lower caste, and which typically means you're like darker skinned. And so it's like really deeply ingrained in that sense. So but I think the difference is like in India, everyone's, even though we're different in this colorism, everyone's the same. We're all still Indian. And so that's why I think it seeps into
The home.
Yeah. Whereas with your family, I think what happened was there's so much else to deal with outside of the house that the house had to be a safe space.
Yeah. We have multiple cultures in our family. So it's, Chinese, Cambodian, Puerto Rican, and I think that's it for now. But but multiple interracial marriages, and it is like my mom makes sure, and I guess my dad too. My dad makes sure that everyone's comfortable. Like no one feels that because they have a certain skin tone that they don't belong. Now, one thing I do know about your parents is that they definitely welcome your best, all your best friends were like black, right?
Yeah.
And so they welcome that in the house. But I think it's just a challenge, like, because we are going to be, going to India, maybe not. I don't know, because I like, what am I supposed to do? Check a whole country? Like why would I want to go anywhere where I have to say watch your mouth or something like that? Because like, what if I don't feel like saying it? What if they catch me on a bad day and I just decide to just slap somebody? I don't. For my daughter, like that's not unreasonable.
Knows, right?
I don't know how I'm gonna react because I don't think about. I'm not the last person I'm going to think about is someone that's not directly in my circle.
Right.
So if
they won't just say it to you on the street. So, right. So it would be like someone.
But no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to deal with someone on the street than it is to deal with someone in your circle.
Yeah.
Because it's someone on the street, you have no obligation. Someone in your circle, like if we go to India and someone says something, I hope she's not too dark or something like that. I might just start roasting them from top to bottom.
Right.
I might just start from the hair and work my way down to the shoes. And then they're going to be like, that's enough. I'm going to be like, and I'm going to be like, you're next. And then just start roasting them. And then somebody gets upset and then, whatever, because I want my daughter to see that, this can be fun. Right. Let's have some fun. Yeah. If you're going to try to call me out, then I'm cleaning you up top to bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, as a father, future father, I would just protect her from any of that stuff. If I sense it, I would just protect her.
I know at some point she's going to deal with it, just it's the nature of the beast, unfortunately. Yeah. And so when that happens, it is going to be a little bit of a shock to her system. But then we help her get through it.
It's necessary though. It's like, I hate that something like that is going to come. But at the same time, you are who you are because every time someone came at you that way, you got, you built the kind of mind that could either block, parry, or avoid.
Right. And I mean, for the
or
record,
attack.
we was just in the Caribbean and I was laying out on the beach,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Somebody was saying, hey, are you going to get too much sun, or how black are you going to get? And well, I'll stay on this beach out here while you think about that.
Right.
Yeah. While you decide on, what shade I'm going to be, I'm just going to keep looking at these waves and watch the sunset.
Yeah.
That's how we deal with this in these types of people. It just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't really deal with them.
The sun rises and the sun sets.
Yeah. And I'm going to be in it.
Yeah. And that's where we are. Yeah. So,
hey, with my sunscreen, because
because you're in dermatology, you protect protect your life.
I don't want cancer.
Yeah. So you protect your life and you prevent wrinkles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But if melanocytes move from one place to another, that's not the problem.
Yeah. So for our daughter, I think it's going to be really important to build her confidence in who she is.
We only get 18 years with her.
I know.
She'll spend the majority of her life away from us.
Yeah.
The majority of her life is not in front of us.
Yeah.
It's away from us. So we only get roughly 18 years of truly trying to program the software to be something that works for the next 60 years or so.
And then whenever that first hit does come through and she's kind of knocked down a bit by it, then we have to help her get through that. And she has to have the courage to respond to these people. Yeah.
And make it look good. It's one of the things, like, if someone takes you down a notch and you start sniffling and crying and boohooing, they got you. They win. I think that comes from all of the jokes that we tell each other, like when we were younger, like little black kids, like you attack. And if you start crying, it probably hurts you.
Right.
And you're probably a big baby.
Yeah.
But like, if you can come back and, it, all that stuff, it might be true. Sometimes, like, if you look crazy and, like, let's say you have like a keloid and they call you keloid Floyd or something like that, if you either like cry every time they say that,
right,
which is whack, or you like roast them,
right,
and then they'll be like, okay, like, he's not that bad, right. He's cool, that's keloid, and so that's that's Floyd. No one's gonna bother him, and so, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's what I like about our community is, like, we don't always take it personal.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just roll with it, and that creates resilience. So then when you go off into corporate America and and they try to hit you, it doesn't hit as hard because you've been training, like, with your friends, with little jabs.
Like, you don't want me to start roasting you.
I'm not gonna. If you want me to focus on you, like,
right,
and so you can have fun with being protective,
right,
of your ego, or you avoid, because protecting your space is sometimes knowing where you should be.
Right. Yeah. And you can do both, but sometimes
having a skill.
Yeah, just having a skill,
choose what you're gonna do, like how you're saying you can dial it up, dial it down. But would I ever roast someone in corporate America? No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't.
I might. Yeah.
Oh no. You don't, right, I wouldn't do that. That would be fun.
It would be fun.
It would be fun to go to, like, a meeting and then, like, they put the budget out and you're like, you don't approve of the budget, so you just start roasting their outfit.
Yeah.
It's like the CPA is getting, like, cleaned up.
Yeah.
They start crying and it's just like, what just happened? I'm sorry. It was her outfit.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. But no, the other last thing I promise, is I think what we're really talking about is giving her discernment.
Yeah.
We're talking about discernment for what you say, discernment for who you're speaking to, what's truly in their heart, understanding who they are. And once you have a discerning eye, it's like God gave you infrared, and you walk around seeing who's hot and who's cold without them speaking.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to give you their best version initially, and then their insecurities will come out.
Yep.
They will show you that they're either an incomplete person and try to take a piece of your completeness away.
Yep.
Or they'll show you that they are a maybe a near complete person, and they're trying to add in your life. And so discerning eyes see the world almost through like infrared, as if God
like
gave you a new pair of lenses.
You just definitely want her to have that. Some snakes are going to get through sometimes, but then you'll learn how to spot them.
Oh yeah, snakes. Not God will give you those eyes early on because some people act like things pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
they don't pop up out of nowhere. They've been in front of you the whole time.
Yeah. But as a child, as someone who's going to be learning this from a young age until she's with us till 18, some snakes are going to get through, but then she has us to say our discernment to help her. But then is she going to rebel against our discernment?
If we don't teach her, we keep talking about 18, it's not going to be 18. If we don't teach her this stuff, she's going to be in the house till her mid-20s, early 30s, trying to figure it out. Right. Talking about, Mom, I'm just trying to.
No, I'm saying we're going to definitely
trying to get out the house, Mom.
Teach her. Yeah. But you can't say that she's just going to have a perfect.
No.
There are going to be people that sneak through that then she has to go and deal with these people that now have snuck through.
I believe you. I'm just saying that we kept saying 18, and I'm thinking about all the dads out there and all the, the moms that are like, I can't get this 30-year-old out of the house. And
hey, some parents want that though.
Not the ones I'm thinking about. The ones I'm thinking about want these people out of the house. They turn into people after a while. Like, what age does your kid turn into a person? It's like, look, man, you gotta go. Yeah. You gotta go. You gotta go. Yeah. And so it's like, yeah. So, but our baby girl, am I gonna kick you out? Oh, man.
Depends on, if you're like working really hard and you need a place to stay, but you're working your butt off, you can stay here. But if you're just chilling, get out, get a job.
Okay, so so your baby girl is starting a business, and it's year 9 of her starting the business.
No, you got to get a job and also do your business on the side.
Yeah, you get a job and then invest in yourself.
You get 2 years. If it's something like that, you get 2 years because that's how long it takes, to start making a profit too. Yeah. And so if you're at 2 years and you're like finally turning a profit, I'm like, all right, you can stay until you can buy a house now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? You don't think so?
No, I think you're gonna let her stay. I think you're gonna be like, what are you gonna do? What am I gonna do? I don't know. Who knows? I talk crap.
You're gonna be a big softie.
I talk all this crap. I'm just, if she's killing it, if she can see people for who they are, she's saying the right things, her logic is there. Like, it's like, what are you gonna do? Help her out. But if she's over here like, Daddy, what, what's I'm over here trying to sell hotcakes, and I wanna be out here. I'm in these streets, Daddy.
You're gonna go be in the streets then.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just imagining somebody who's no longer my child, but this random person in the house, like just doing stuff like shucking oysters, like in the bathtub or something. Like what? When? Who are you? And then after a while, I'm gonna like look at these podcasts and like remember when we popped the balloons. I'll be like, you remember how happy you were? And now she's shucking oysters in the freaking tub.
Well, is she selling oysters?
No, this is dinner.
Ew. Okay. Did she go and catch them? Is she a fisherman woman?
Where does she get these oysters?
I don't know.
Every freaking week.
We live in the mountains.
No, yeah. We're every week she comes back with another bag.
I don't know.
And then casinos all around like have this like wanted poster for like someone keeps jacking their oyster bar.
Okay, in that case, she's not living with us anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's gonna smell.
Yeah, no, I don't want it. That
is that episode
is
14?
Colorism in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah.
That lets you know how much we think about it.
I know.
It got real. It got like briefly, serious, and then we touched on it. Yeah. It's as real as you want it to be.
Yeah.
And for us, we got so much we're working on that it's like, if someone tries to hit you with it, come on, be strong, be tough. Like, someone's gonna say that someone's gonna try to call you something you're not. Someone's gonna try to.
Yeah.
You got so much going for you. It's gonna be hard to like hear the noise. Like, how much attention do you give a mosquito?
Yeah.
As much attention as like, if it's in your space, then yeah, it'll probably get his attention. But what do you normally do? You pop it, you flick it, you move on. You don't sit there and think about it for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah. All these people are just mosquitoes.
The ones who are incomplete, the
They're
ones
trying
who
to
are
take something from
insecure, the ones who are trying to take from you, and the ones who are trying to change who you are internally. And it could be a boyfriend. The second you feel worse
Right.
than you did before you met them, you have to start thinking, did I see the right person? And that's all we're going to teach her. See people for who they are. Listen to what they do.
Yep.
Don't listen to what they say. Sometimes you have to listen to what they do.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Episode 14.
Yes.